Exciting Adventures, The Day of the Clown, the second story of Series 2, is written by Phil Ford and it's starring Elizabeth Sladen, Tommy Knight, Daniel Anthony, Anjali Mohindra and Alexander Armstrong. So yeah, the story introduces a main character called Rani. No, not that one. There we go. Rani Chandra, played by Anjali Mohindra, and I think she's great. I like Rani, and also her parents Haresh and Geeta Chandra, played by Ace Bharti and Meena Anwar. I think they're both fantastic. So at the football match, Tony picks a football and finds a clown appeared out of nowhere. Luke understandably felt upset over Maria not being there. We also find out that she's coming back to UK because her mum Christy is getting married. At school, someone bumps into Clyde, who turns out to be Rani Chandra, who's moved into Bannerman Road, who wanted to be a journalist. She often gets curious about things and she keeps getting glimpses of a mysterious clown. The scene where Haresh Chandra came into the classroom and introducing himself is really entertaining. He's definitely the headmaster. He also mentions that Mr. Blakeman is gone along with Mr. Jeffrey because obviously they're Slovene. And he also mentions about the third child being missing and tells everyone that if they see anything or anyone suspicious, contacts the police. So Sarah Jane went over to Chandra's house to meet Geeta and giving her some snacks. She scans around to see if Maria has left anything behind, but turns out she hasn't, so she left. It was really funny when Clyde threw a ball at Haresh and he sends him to his office. It also amused me when Clyde said being funny is a curse. Him and a wolf man, life is just one big shaggy dog story. So after Clyde keeps seeing the clown, Haresh sends Clyde in his office. Clyde tries to tell him about the clown, but unsurprisingly he didn't believe him. So after Clyde keeps seeing the clown, so him and Luke were running around to get after him. Even Luke hasn't seen him. So Ronnie bumps into them and walks to Bannerman Road. Poor Clyde finds out that the head teacher is Ronnie's dad. Haresh doesn't seem to be happy with Ronnie being friends with Clyde, but he is happy to meet Luke and he's impressed with the results. And with Clyde making a loser sign with his hands, wasn't sure if that was at Luke or Haresh. Obviously Sarah Jane doesn't want Ronnie to get involved, but she wants someone to keep an eye on her, so Luke paid a visit. Clyde talks to his friend Steve about the missing kids and he remembers when his mate took a ticket from a clown, and Ronnie did as well. So the whole gang went to the museum of the circus and they met Elijah Spellman, played by Bradley Walsh, 10 years before he played Graham O'Brien in Doctor Who. So Sarah Jane and Clyde went into the room full of clowns and they saw a picture of a mysterious man who happens to be the same clown that Clyde and Ronnie saw. Sarah Jane explained it's the Pied Piper who Mr. Spellman revealed to be. So Sarah Jane and Clyde try to get away and bump into Luke and Ronnie, but they're locked in and the animated clowns are moving towards them, which makes it intense. So after Sarah Jane uses a fire extinguisher on Pied Piper, the clown talks to Sarah Jane about the fear of clowns. Luckily Ronnie's phone ringing has attacked the clown as the whole gang got away. And because it's during Clyde's head-in, Sarah Jane allows Ronnie to join the gang, which is nice. I think Ronnie's likeable as well. I think the characters are. Pied Piper, who's originally from a region known to house beings feeding on emotions, Jegarabax cluster was an energy entity which also manifested a need for fear in order to break loose from a piece of rock. It was bound to known as the Westbergland meteorite. I think Bradley Walsh did a great job. Ronnie is obviously mind-blowing to see what's inside the attic. The whole gang finds out more about the Pied Piper. The photo of Clara the Clown that's shown in this story looks exactly like the one from the Celestial Toymaker, William Hartnell's era, which is really cool. Luke was confused about Sarah Jane fearing of the clowns after all the travels with the Doctor. Sarah Jane mentions that she was frightened of a clown marionette owned by her aunt Slovena when she was a child, and yeah, her aunt appeared in Canine and Company. Floella Benjamin came back as Professor Rivers, which is great, yes. Because I like the character, she should come back and meet the Doctor. So when Sarah Jane sees her, Professor Rivers thanked her for solving the situation involving Nathan Goss, who's the child Slovene disguised as Nathan. Sarah Jane borrows a piece of meteorite to give to Mr. Smith. The bit where a lot of balloons fly down and the school kids grabbed it and walked from school is pretty grim. I love the bit where Sarah Jane is in the halls of mirrors, it's pretty scary. So Pied Piper is aware that Sarah Jane is still scared of clowns, but Clyde tells funny jokes to defeat the Pied Piper, and he's forced back into the fragment of the meteorite, which he puts into an alien box from which nothing can escape from. Yes, Ronnie decides to join the whole gang. I love Clyde's response when the new headmaster is cooking him tea, when the whole gang is having tea at Ronnie's. I really enjoyed this episode. I think it's scary for a kids program. Not sure if my friend Lee can watch this, because his response might be something like... Yeah. What did you guys think of The Day of the Clown? Drop your thoughts on the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and see yous in the next video.